By Jeff Francoeur. Kaz Matsui looks at a strike, and this game is underway. Volquez, however, walked 7 batters, 5 of them in the 3rd inning. And he became the first Reds pitcher to walk 5 batters in a single inning since Ryan Dempster walked 6 in the bottom of the 2nd inning in Colorado back in 2003. There's that pitching line. 1 hit, 7 strikeouts, 3 earned runs. The only hit was a solo home run with 2 outs in the 5th inning by Atlanta's Jeff Francoeur. 0-2 on Matsui. And he fouled it straight back. We talked about Matsui last night. All night long they would pitch him fastballs away, and he would just slap them the other way. He had a 3-hit game, 2 of them into left field.
It's okay to pitch him away, but you slow him down a little bit so he'll roll over that ball.
Well, they come in and just eat him up.
Changeup sets up the fastball every single time. Watch this pitch here. It's a good hard fastball in, has some great sink down. That's when Volquez is staying on top of ball. That's the box that I'm talking about. Staying right here between this box here, not falling to this side. When he starts doing that towards first base, the hand gets flat and the ball starts sailing everywhere.
The speedy center fielder Michael Bourne, a .277 batter. On the ground right at Jerry Hairston Jr. And just like that, 4 pitches and 2 outs for Edinson Volquez.
Thank you very much.
Volquez had such a spectacular season. His first full year in the big leagues last season. His first year, of course, as a Red, after coming over in the Josh Hamilton deal in December of '07 from the Rangers. Led the team in victories with 17, an ERA 3.21, had over 200 strikeouts, and was the Reds' lone National League All-Star. Here's Miguel Tejada. Boy, is he swinging a hot bat.
You see that front leg right down into the ground. Big high leg kick on the backside. That really means that Volquez is finishing the pitch and driving the ball towards home plate and spending some time on the rubber, not getting off of it too quick.
2-0. Three balls and no strikes on Tejada. It is staggering to think that Volquez has pitched 20 1/3 innings so far this year and has walked 20 batters. He's striking out more than a hitter per inning, 22 of those. 3-1 to Miguel Tejada.
And you could almost see the slowdown in body mechanics before he released that pitch. And that pitch was 91 miles an hour. It's almost less is more for Volquez right now.
3-1 on Miguel Tejada with 2 down and nobody on. It's in the air, right field, hit pretty well. Bruce backpedaling at the wall, and it's up against the wall. But Tejada continues to bang the ball all over Great American Ballpark. He had a double in the game last night. He had 3 hits in the series opener.
I don't think there's any way that Jay Bruce can catch that ball. That hit right off the top of the wall.
He may have jammed his hand on his backside there, crashing into that wall, or maybe his shoulder.
Well, you've got that padding out there, and a lot of times you get too close to the wall before you jump, and you jump right into that padding, and it just absorbs your whole body.
Well, a 2-out double for Tejada, and that brings up Carlos Lee. 5 home runs, 17 runs batted in. And a breaking ball is in there, strike 1. Lee had a 2-run double in 5 at-bats last night. 1 for 4 in the series opener. Reds have played behind, it seems like, almost every game so far this year. All but 5 of them. The Reds have trailed in 15 of their 20 games this season. 7 of the 20 games, they have allowed runs in the first inning. Fouled away. And really, you go back to last year, and most of us believe the Reds have a far better team this year than they did last year. But you could throw out every statistic known to man. And really, at the end of the day, if you just look at when the opponent scores first as opposed to when the Reds score first, and it's true really all over baseball on a nightly basis. The Reds were 26-69 when the opponent scored first. They were 48-19 when they scored first.
And that should tell you how much of this ball game, baseball, is mental and not just physical. When you get behind, you press. You start to try to do too much. You get outside of what you're able to do physically. You try to do too much. You stiffen up. You can't make it happen.
Break-even pitch on Lee with Tejada at second and 2 away in the opening inning. And it's lined into left field and caught by Lance Nix. That ball caught him and had so much topspin on it. But a scoreless first for the Astros, and the Reds are coming up. Spot in right field. Ramon Hernandez bumped up to the 5-hole with Lance Nix getting a start out in left field, batting 6th. Adam Rosales makes his first start since being brought up yesterday at third. Alex Gonzalez at short. Edinson Volquez on the mound against 25-year-old right-hander Felipe Paulino.
And you see Jay Bruce, Joey Votto, lefty. There is nothing wrong with that. You look throughout baseball, a lot of teams have back-to-back righty in the 3-4 spot, lefty. Put your best hitters up there.
Taveras looks at a strike. Although Paulino was born in the Dominican Republic, he is a product of the Astros Venezuelan Academy.
How about that? It's amazing.
It really is. You never see that.
No.
Or rarely, anyway. He was originally signed as a shortstop by Houston.
Probably like me, couldn't hit the slider.
Well, the two of you would not be alone in that regard. 0-2 on Willie Taveras. And really, you look at Taveras and what he has done, or more accurately not done, in this series. And certainly the Reds offense is going to struggle if this guy is not getting on base. He has not had a hit in the series. The only time he got on was a walk in the first inning last night, and he scored a run. 2-2 on Willie Taveras.
Well, it's definitely a different ball game when Taveras gets on base. He puts a lot of pressure on the pitcher. And on the defense, for that matter.
Three and 2 on Willie Taveras. And Paulino turns it loose. And it's ball 4, and that's what Taveras had in mind. Reaching base to begin the opening inning. Let's take a look at Houston defensively, presented by Ford. Same outfield we've seen the first 2 games. The only change comes in the infield, where Darren Erstad replaces Lance Berkman. A second change in their lineup is J.R. Tolles, giving Pudge Rodriguez a night off. All right, running game perspective. You got to believe that Taveras will be running very early in this at-bat with Jerry Hairston Jr. at the plate.
That's what has been talked about from the time that they signed Taveras. This team was going to be more about speed and agility and moving runners than it was going to be about the home run.
Ball 1 high. Jerry Hairston got his first start in the series last night. Had an excellent game in an otherwise dismal night for the home team. Hairston had 2 hits and 4 at-bats, a single and a double, and made a couple of real nice plays down at third base defensively.
Full-out lunging diving plays. One to his left and one to his backhand side. For a guy that hasn't been at third in that hot corner in a long time, that's pretty good play.
Want to know the count on Jerry Hairston Jr. Taveras not running, and there's a strike.
Tom, you were talking about the defense of the Astros. Unless this kid Polino throws strikes, that defense isn't going to matter a whole lot. He's got to make sure he keeps the ball in the strike zone and makes the Reds swing the bat.
So far, he's been very good at that. Since being brought up from the minor leagues, he's made 2 starts and walked only 2 batters in 12 innings. Bunted over the screen and out of play.
You know, we've seen this time and time again where Taveras really takes his time to pick his spots to go, but yet I'm watching Polino and he's taking a pretty long time to get to home plate. I don't have a stopwatch with me, and I know J.R. Tolles can throw a little bit, but that's his forte.
Taveras a perfect 4 of 4 in stolen base attempts so far this season. Led the major leagues in stolen bases last year, 2 shy of 70. And it said back in spring training that he'd like to steal 100 bases in a year. Of course, you got to get on base to do that. 1-2, the count on Hairston. Paulino holding it for a long time, and Jerry wants timeout.
That's the best defense for me from a pitcher standpoint. Hold the baseball until either the runner at first calls timeout or the batter calls timeout. If you hold the baseball, that runner over there at first base, his legs get real tight.
Blind, throw, double play. Wow. Almost seemingly every night it is something for the Reds. Dusty Baker made the comment before the game today without singling out anybody, but it certainly didn't take a brain surgeon to figure it out. He talked about how poor the defense has been. He talked about the base running and how bad it has been. We brought up to the time last night with the Reds trailing in the game 6-1 last night. They have a runner thrown out at third base. Dusty none too happy about that. And here you have one of your better base runners on and doubled up. That one in the air to right center field off the bat of Votto, and it'll end the inning. So just like that, the inning comes to an end. No score at the end of 1. Serious injuries. You look at the head-to-head season series. Of course, the Reds won 3 out of 4 down in Houston last week. Much more offense for the Astros. Now, they have pitched very well, not just against the Reds. They pitched very well against everybody, really, since the end of the first week of the season. Baseball is a funny game. Everybody figured this Houston team would knock the cover off the ball when the year began and struggle from a pitching standpoint, which might turn out to be exactly the case. That one fouled away by Hunter Pence. But at least through 3 weeks of the year, almost a full month, today being the final month of April, they have to feel real good about where their pitching is right now.
And, Tom, they're relying on the likes of Russ Ortiz and Mike Hampton, who are guys that haven't pitched in quite some time. Veteran guys, been around a long time. If they're healthy, yeah, it's great for them.
Pence at .293 with 4 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Had a hitless game here last night. There you get a look at Hampton in the middle of that trio. For one time, he was one of baseball's best. There's a high 2-hopper in the hole, and Gonzalez throws out Pence, 1 away.
When Volquez stays on top of the baseball, and you can see this 90-degree angle on his arm there. When he stays on top, it allows him to drive the ball down to home plate. When he drives the ball down, instead of getting that flat run that hitters can catch up to, you're going to see where when the ball gets in this area here, it's going to go down. And that's what you want with your fastball. That's the perfect sinker. You can't draw it up any better than that.
Jeff Blum, the Houston third baseman, looks at a strike. .328 batting average for Blum. 4 runs batted in. A couple of hits and an RBI and 7 trips during this 2-game series. Tonight being the third and final game. it right by him.
You look at this Reds pitching staff, Tom, at Harang, Volquez, Arroyo, Micah Owings, Johnny Cueto. You're giving yourself a chance to win every fifth day. But the issue is, if you put your pitching together and your hitting together, you got the ace in the hole, and that's that bullpen. But it all has to work together. You don't pitch, the hitters start to press. You don't hit, the pitchers start to throw shutouts every ball game. You can't do all that.
2-2 on Jeff Blum. Fouled over the screen, came back with a fastball in on the left-handed batting third baseman. Full count. Blum, 35 years old, in his second stint with Houston. Originally came up with Montreal, spent a couple of years with the Astros, 1 year in Tampa Bay, then San Diego. In 2005 was traded from the Padres to the White Sox and wound up getting a World Series ring with Chicago that year. Struck him out on a fastball, 94 miles per hour. Second strikeout of the night for Edinson Volquez.
Tom, this is about the least amount of effort that we have seen from Volquez as he lets the ball go. He's nice and smooth, staying on top of the rubber, staying on the mound a long time. So when he lets the ball go, it's almost like cracking that whip at the furthest point that you can crack the whip, and that's what really lets that wrist snap that baseball out.
2 down for Darren Erstad. 20 at bats for him this year. He has 4 hits and looks at a strike. Erstad, a pinch hitter in the game here last night, and knocked in a run with a single to left field. Erstad had so many outstanding years with the Anaheim Angels. Came up back in 1996, and he played every day for that team through 2006. 11 seasons in Anaheim, including a World Series title over Dusty Baker's Giants in 2002.
I just love to watch the grimace on his face when he stands in there in the batter's box. You know it's a battle between pitcher and hitter, and this guy takes it awfully serious. That's how it's supposed to be.
Played by Hairston, and it's a 1-2-3 second inning for Edinson Volquez. The Reds come to bat in the bottom half in a scoreless game. By JTM, food, family, fun, JTM. And by Jeep, you talk, we listen. Have fun out there, Jeep. First pitch swinging is Jay Bruce to begin the second inning, and it's run down by Michael Bourne. So Bruce an easy out to begin the inning.
Michael Bourne took about 4 steps back when the ball came off the bat, and he had to really clear up. Check him out here. Watch when the ball comes off the bat. He's running backwards. Oh, better come back, boy. There he is. Paulino's like, oh, thank you very much. Whew.
No score, 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. And Ramon Hernandez, the batter. Ramon 1 hit in 4 at bats last night. Hit a couple of balls very hard that turned into outs. Been hitting in that 7th hole pretty much all year long. Moved up to 6th last night. And now batting 5th tonight, with Brandon Phillips getting his first game off of the season. Going into this game, Joey Votto and Brandon Phillips have played in every inning of every game so far.
I wouldn't think you'd want to give them both a day off on the same day.
Sort of ironic, of course, for Brandon Phillips, who has had such a difficult start to this season. That ball hit down the right field line and bending foul and out of play. That the one night it looks like he's starting to get things going. You may remember he doubled into right center field and hit a ball to deep center that was caught in front of the wall. Hit a home run in the 9th inning to left field. But the next day would be his off day. But he'll get 2 in a row, including the day off tomorrow.
Well, I think after you get swinging the bat the way Brandon Phillips did last night, he really got some balance back at home plate. That balance allowed him to hit the ball out of the ballpark and hit the ball well the other 2 times.
That ball hit very hard into straightaway center field. Bourne racing back, and he'll make a real nice over-the-shoulder catch. What a play by Michael Bourne, running it down steps in front of the wall.
Well, so far in 2 ABs, Michael Bourne has covered just about as much of center field as you can, all the way to the wall there, and about 3/4 of the way towards second base on the ball hit off the end of the bat by Jay Bruce.
Well, here comes Lance Nix. Hit a home run last night, a pinch hit home run for Nix that came in the 8th inning against Jeff Geary. Only 3 at bats in this series, but 2 of the hits extra base hits, the home run and a pinch hit double.
And he had a couple of hits against Paulino in that last ball game down in Houston.
A lot of those numbers for Nix came during interleague play while playing for the Rangers. Like the Reds and the Indians, the Rangers and the Astros play a pair of series per year. Tonight is the 4th start of the season for Lance Nix.
Well, he's going to have to earn it back. There's no doubt about that. But he's got a lot of talent. And I think if he gets a shot, he'll put a lot of heat on getting the job back.
2-2 on Lance Nix.
And as we stand right now, he's second on the team in doubles. Hit a home run last night, and most of this work has been done off the bench.
2-2 delivery, and he thought about it, was able to check his swing. They appeal, and Field and Culver said he did check it. And this is the other thing he's done, as we talked about last night, even in at-bats where maybe they got him out, he's given you a good quality, more times than not lengthy at-bat. 3-2 pitch upcoming. And we'll do it again.
And he is so strong, Tom. You and I were talking about this before the ball game. Even his outs, and you were just saying it then. Even his outs have been line drives or one hoppers to an infielder.
Well, the amazing thing is, we were looking it up before the game, and we thought it was pretty close. But Nix is only 28 years old. There's a fastball at 95 miles per hour thrown right by him. This guy can bring it. That's his first strikeout of the night. We move to the 3rd. Still no score at Great American Ballpark. And in right center field during tonight's game, Jerry Moser of Ludlow, Kentucky, will win that Tundra. Register for your chance to win during an upcoming game at your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. We begin the 3rd inning of the scoreless game. 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order against Edinson Volquez. It starts with J.R. Tolles, and he is hit on the very first pitch.
This is what happens to the fastball of Volquez when he gets to the side of it. It tails up and in and catches J.R. Tolles right on the left elbow. Stay on top of that bat, boy.
Felipe Paulino is 1 for 4 as a batter. Up there to bunt undoubtedly here. In the air, caught by Votto. And back to the bag quickly is Tolles. There's one out.
Get a pitcher up there to bunt. The first thing that you're told is to throw the ball right at his hands. Bat will retreat. The pitcher will forget to move the bat out of the way because he's worried about his own life, and the bat stays there and pops it up.
So back to the top of the order in Kaz Matsui. 1 on, 1 out. Reds have an off day tomorrow. The team will travel a short trip northeast to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Open a series against the Pirates on Friday night. That's a 3-game set through the weekend. Then a 2-game series next Monday and Tuesday nights against the Florida Marlins. The Pirates today, by the way, shut out by Giovanni Gallardo 1-0. Gallardo in that game, a complete game shutout, and hit a home run for the game's only run.
No way. That's big time right there.
Only the 7th time it has happened, as that one has popped up and out of play since 1954. The last player to do it, pitcher to do it, Odalis Perez, then pitching for the Dodgers, beat the Diamondbacks in August of 2002 1-0 and hit a home run. Reds have had it done to them back in 1983 when Dodger right-hander Bob Welch shut out the Reds 1-0 and homered in the game.
I bet Micah Owings could pull that off if he could get 9 in.
That is a foul ball. You know, it's interesting to know we're talking about the Astros and their domination in this ballpark. They've won 11 straight games. That game in Milwaukee today was the Brewers' 18th consecutive home victory over the Pirates. They have beaten the Pirates 18 straight times at Miller Park. That is the longest home winning streak by one team against another since the Baltimore Orioles back from 78 to 81 won 19 straight games over Toronto in Baltimore. There's strike 3 to Matsui. Twice he's gone swinging tonight.
Now, Volquez is pitching Matsui away, as we saw in the last 2 ball games. But he's changing speeds. The pitch right before that was a changeup that Matsui was so far out in front of, he had to try to think in his mind, I'm going to wait back just a tad this time, and then he gets a 94-mile-an-hour heater in the same spot. Well, you can forget about hitting that.
Now Michael Bourne being grounded to Jerry Hairston Jr. His only time up. 2 down, runner at first. No score in the game. Strike 1. When your team is having a hard time scoring runs, you really start breaking down innings and batters and at bats inside of a game. And early on, this is one of those situations right here and right now for Volquez. Miguel Tejada is putting the fat part of the bat on the baseball for the better part of about 2 weeks right now.
Every time. Almost hit the last ball out the other way.
So you really got to retire and come after and attack Bourne if you're Volquez in this at bat.
Well, you want to make him swing the bat and put the ball in play.
And Edinson ahead of him, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Bourne is not a very good breaking ball hitter. The only thing that he can hit with some semblance of regularity has been a fastball out over the plate. So you stay with the breaking ball. Most likely here you go with a breaking ball in the dirt right in front of home plate, and you go for a chase pitch.
One and 2 on Bourne. J.R. Tolles over at first with a lead. There he goes, and it's in the air and out of play. We're talking about the Pirates getting shut out today. They had only 2 hits against Gallardo. The Chicago Cubs were shut out today by Doug Davis and the Diamondbacks 10-0. And the Cubs had just 2 hits in the game. Very slow start to this year for the Cubs. And again, putting it into perspective from an expectation standpoint. The Cubs had the same record after that loss today as the Reds coming into the game tonight. You're talking about one team coming off losing season last year, the Reds. And the Cubs, of course, won 97. Those are the National League Central Division standings, including the wins by Milwaukee and the losses by the Pirates and the Cubs. Unable to advance on that pitch in the dirt is Tolles. 2-2 now to Michael Bourn.
Now this is where you have to make it happen, Tom. You can't go to 3-2 and allow Tolles to take off and risk a chance of walking Michael Bourn, or for him hitting one into a gap and scoring Tolles from first base. You got to get him to swing the bat right here and right now.
Two and two on Michael Bourn, and a throw over that will send Tolles back to the bag. Now the 2-2 to Bourn. And that's strike 3 on a changeup. And the inning is over. 1 man left, middle of the third, no score. KOI Auto Parts tickets are available. Should be a great weekend series. Call 513-381-REDS. 381-REDS or log on to Reds.com. Yeah, that next homestand is not a long one, but depending on how well the team plays on this upcoming road trip, that could be a very interesting homestand. Milwaukee in for 2 and the Redbirds for 3. Here is Adam Rosales. First pitch swinging, a fly ball in the deep left center field. Bourn on the run and makes the grab in front of the wall. That is the deepest part of this ballpark. And Rosales, as he always does, 100 miles an hour, sprinting back to the dugout. Even gets a round of applause, making a long out.
Swings at the first pitch, a high fastball. He gets it on the good part of the bat. But the problem is you got a guy in center field that could probably run the 4th leg on the Olympic team.
We talked about Rosales in spring training. If this guy gets any regular playing time at all, he will become an instant fan favorite. He is all out all the time. Born and raised just outside Chicago.
He's already a clubhouse favorite. The guys were calling him Pete Rosales in spring training. Pete Rosales.
Grounded hard, and it ate up the third baseman Blum into left field. That'll be a base hit for Alex Gonzalez.
Tom, you know as well as I do, being around the game and being around a guy with high energy, especially a rookie like Rosales, he brings a lot of energy and a lot of upbeat play to a team. Whether it's the Reds, a young team, or whether it's a veteran team, it lifts your level of play because you don't want to get shown up by a guy that's just got here to the big leagues.
Edinson Volquez up there to try to advance the runner, and you can't do it any better than that. A sacrifice for Edinson, his first of the year, and Gonzalez in a scoring position. Well, guess what we have tonight? A text poll question. Now, you have a chance to vote, of course, on what bobblehead is going to be given away. The fan voting ends April the 30th. Text 1 for Bronson Arroyo, 2 for Aaron Harang, 3 for David Weathers, and 4 for Daniel Ray Herrera. Text the number of your choice to 37664. But you can officially vote at Reds.com, and you will decide what bobblehead will be given away. Now Willie Taveras with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Willie walked his first time up, was doubled off on a line drive by Jerry Hairston Jr. And early on, Daniel Ray Herrera,
life-size model.
Oh, now see,
come on,
fouled out of play.
It's just a joke. Come on.
Okay, Kareem.
Could be a life-size model. That'd be good. It'd be cute.
Like I said, okay, Kareem.
You just haven't accepted it yet. That's the problem.
0-2 on Willie Taveras. Excuse me, swing and fouled out of play.
He gets the ball to home pretty quick.
Yes, he does. Well, you mentioned he was hurt all of last year.
Well, he tried to come back in a rehab situation, and he just aggravated the pinched nerve. Sometimes those things take forever to go away.
There's a base hit in the right field. They are going to hold the runner at third. Pence got to the ball quickly in right field. So a base hit by Taveras on a 1-2 pitch keeps the inning alive for Jerry Hairston Jr.
Great job of hitting by Taveras here. You got a runner at second base. You get the pitch out over the plate, and you take it right with it. A breaking ball. It's a tight one. It's a strike whether you swing or not. Keep the bat flat. Shoot it right through the right side. Now, Tom, Taveras has got to run. You got to make something happen right here. There's 2 outs.
Jerry hit the ball very hard his first time up, but a line drive that turned into a double play right at Matsui, and there's strike 1 to Hairston.
Two down. If I'm Dusty, I make him run. Tolles hadn't caught much. He might throw that thing out there to Michael Moore.
Timeout was called before the pitch was delivered. Well, it's still an 0-1 count on Jerry Hairston Jr. On the ground to short, and that'll end the inning. Reds strand 2, end of 3, no score. Those are second with 32 wins at Great American Ballpark since this park opened in 2003. Which team has the most wins? It's hard to believe anybody could win more games than Houston has won in here. But there's one team.
Reds. Oh, those. Couldn't help it.
But you would be right on that.
Couldn't help it. Got to find some comedy in everything.
Part of the order for the Astros against Edinson Volquez. And a comebacker on the first pitch by Tejada. One away. told you about a couple of finals involving Central Division teams today. Elsewhere, Florida beat the New York Mets 4-3. Colorado over San Diego 7-5. Atlanta early on lasted a third inning. A 3-1 lead over Adam Wainwright and the St. Louis Cardinals. That's where Houston's headed tonight after this game, down to Atlanta.
Carlos Lee acted like he was going to bunt to see what Rosales was going to do. Go ahead and lay it down, big boy. Lay it on down there.
Lee hit a bullet. Hardest hit ball of the night by an Astro. Well, one of two. Tejada's ball was hit hard as well. That double off the right center field wall. But Lee hit a scorcher that was caught by Nix in left field, ending the first inning with Tejada in scoring position. 2-1 to Carlos Lee. That is hit a ton down the left field line. Is it fair or is it foul? It is foul, and a good thing for the Reds and Mr. Volquez.
That's why you never mind if a home run hitter lays down to the bunt. Always got a chance for him to stumble running down first base line. Excellent body movement.
Now the 2-2 pitch. Broken bat, it sounded like, on a fly ball to short right center. 2 away in the end of the bat. Well, this weekend on Fox Saturday Baseball, some will see the Indians in Detroit, others the Mets and the Phillies. A special time at 3:30 Eastern following This Week in Baseball at 3 on Fox. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. Of course, the Reds will see those Cleveland Indians a couple of series this summer. Swing and a miss. Hunter Pence missed that breaking ball by 2 feet. The Indians come to town May the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. That'll be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. The Reds go to Cleveland the final weekend of June, 26th, 27th, and 28th. 0-2 on Hunter Pence. Indians off to a slow start this year. Their starting pitching has been shaky at best. They've got a killer lineup, but have not kicked it into gear yet.
Hunter Pence missed that first pitch so bad because he got jammed on the first pitch last time and hit it to the shortstop. He tried to cheat a little bit on Volquez.
When they threw him that breaking ball again, it just missed the outer edge.
Watch this first pitch. Hips are already open. He's trying to hit this ball out of the ballpark. I mean, he's got that much room out there on the outside part of the plate where the ball was. Are you looking there, partner?
High tapper, plenty of time for Volquez. And a very impressive 1-2-3 fourth against the heart of the order. Here's a special look at what will be one of the biggest films of the summer. X-Men Origins Wolverines in theaters May 1st. The Pittsburgh Pirates. I would have never guessed that. Me either. Naturally, it's going to be teams inside your division, just based on the number of times they play here every year. Generally speaking, 3 times per season, teams inside your division will come and play in your ballpark. Now, due to interleague play, there are some years where maybe one team or 2 or 3 teams will come in twice. You'll go to their place 3 times or vice versa.
Now, you're talking about series, not just games.
Yeah. Joey Votto flied out to short center his first time up. 0-0 game. Here in the bottom of the 4th. A fastball up 1-2 to Votto. To be followed by Jay Bruce and then Ramon Hernandez. Man, this guy rushes it up there.
He does. There's a reason that they did not rush him through all of that issue with his nerve problems.
And you're talking nerve problems in his arm.
Yes. Yes, he had a pinched nerve.
You're the only guy I know that has some nerve problems.
More mental.
Now a line into center field, and there is Michael Bourne yet again.
Somebody stop that masked man.
Hit it to somebody else. This guy catching everything in sight. Well, we got to bring you the final numbers from our Reds text question. And Daniel Ray Herrera, the overwhelming leader.
Well, I guess I better text all my peeps and tell them thanks for voting for Herrera, because that's the guy that I told them to vote for.
So are you Twittering now? I thought you told me last night that you weren't Twittering.
Well, I've changed my mind.
Wow.
So
what kind of stuff you putting in there? I mean, give us a sneak preview.
I'm telling my peeps, thanks for voting.
Yeah, but see, you don't. They can hear you say that right now.
No, they may not be watching.
Well, you're right. You're right. I guess
they may be in somewhere else, and we're including them in the Reds mania.
Nice, nice. So you are officially now, for everybody who wants to start following you, Jeff Brentley. I mean, even when the team is on the road and maybe you're on the radio side, you're going to be Twittering.
It's Reds Cowboy. That's what it is. So
and I mean, you're going to be filling them in all kinds of things. Not only, what's going on. I mean, minute by minute, and some of the things you might be up to. As Bruce's jam with a pitch, and that one's looped into shallow center. Bourne there again, 2 away in the inning. But now,
ribs for dinner and ribs at midnight. Some people like to know that I like my songs.
Stuff like that. So, I mean, will you find yourself, you get back maybe into a hotel room late at night after a ball game, say in Pittsburgh over the weekend or maybe down in Florida, and, maybe you order up a pizza and maybe a bucket of ice cream before you hit the rack, and you'll just fill everybody in. This is what the Cowboys up to right now.
I could say maybe I'm having a club sandwich while I'm working on my tan on the beach in South Beach. I could say that. Might not be doing it, but I can say that.
Now, when you go down to South Beach, which you might next Monday and Tuesday, do you wear your cowboy boots down there with your bathing suit?
No, just my Speedo.
Much more information than anybody needs.
That was just a joke. No, I don't wear cowboy boots on the beach.
You don't?
No. Okay. And I don't wear a Speedo either.
Thank God. 0-1 the count, and that's taken outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ramon Hernandez. One on Ramon Hernandez. 2 down, nobody on, and Paulino going to work. And a bouncing ball back up through the middle. Tejada picks it up, throws. What a nice play by Miguel Tejada.
They're throwing some defense on us.
And robs his former teammate in Oakland of a base hit. And a 4. Still no score. .com. Got to be here for that. That'll be a special day for Mom. And bring her to the ball game. Top of the 5th inning, Jeff Blum, Darren Erstad, J.R. Tolles scheduled to bat against Edinson Volquez. No runs, 1 hit for Houston. No runs, 2 hits for the Reds. A couple of talented, hard-throwing young right-handers locking up tonight. And Blum, a check swing, grounder right back to Edinson, 1 away. 3 of the last 4 outs have been balls hit back to the mound. Tejada, Pence, now Blum.
And that just shows you how much that Volquez is changing speeds. Sometimes the first pitch is a changeup. Sometimes it's a fastball. But the issue for tonight with Volquez is everything looks the same. He has stayed in that box that we talked about at the beginning of the ball game, driving the ball straight towards home plate. The arm slot is in the same spot every time, and every pitch looks like a fastball.
Darren Erstad bounced to second, is only at bat. And there's a fastball strike called on the outside corner. The only Houston hit was in the first inning, a 2-out double to right center field by Tejada. And only one runner has reached since then, and that was when Volquez hit J.R. Tolles with a pitch, the first pitch of the third inning. So 7 in a row set down by Edinson. A ball and a strike on Erstad. Fastball 93 on the outside edge, strike 2. Erstad started after that changeup, but was able to hold off on it. Back-to-back changeups, and that one pulled foul.
So many times when you have that much confidence in a changeup and a fastball, watch Volquez. This is a fastball and a changeup laid right over the top of each other. Watch where the arm angle is. They're exactly the same. Look where the ball is. There's a ball there and there's a ball there. Too much difference. I mean, not much difference at all in the way Volquez releases the pitch.
Came back away from Erstad, who slaps it that way, but right into the mitt of Lance Nix, and they're 2 away here in the Houston 5th inning.
Very few pitchers can you take and have their body, their arm, and their head all in the same area to let the baseball go when they're driving it towards home plate. Volquez in that picture there, they were all right on the money.
Tolles hit by a pitch, his only plate appearance tonight.
Tom, we're at 4 2/3 innings, almost done with the 5th inning. And Volquez is only at 60 pitches. This is usually the second inning.
1-1 to Tolles. And a fastball to strike 2. I mean, his command tonight has just been sensational.
And I think it's not just the physical part for Edinson Volquez. It's the mental part. Driving the ball to home plate and believing that you're good enough, that your stuff is good enough to get the hitters out. He is challenging the strike zone with everything.
Pulled foul.
Let's watch Erstad here. That's a fastball right on the outside corner. Now watch this pitch. Erstad looking for the same pitch. All of a sudden he gets the changeup. Could you see how far the bat head was out in front of the ball, and he pulls it foul down the first baseline. Speed him up, slow him down, speed him up, slow him down. The old proverbial rocking chair.
Two and 2 to Tolles. Volquez trying to put Tolles away and put the Astros away here in the 5th inning. 0-3. Well, it goes without saying, you'd love to have the guy in the on-deck circle lead off the 6th inning for Houston. But for that to happen, you need the final out for the number 8 hitter. And Volquez gets it. Edinson Volquez has struck out 5. He has walked none. His team needs to give him some run support in a scoreless game. Offer valid in advance of game day only. Lots of families at the ballpark each and every day. Still extremely affordable. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you have to spend $100, or for that matter, you have to spend $50 to bring a whole family to a game. There's Lance Nix jumping on the first pitch of the inning. Hits it down the line, and Pence just getting the ball, and Nix is going to end up at third.
He started it last night.
Hunter Pence never saw the ball. You could tell by his reaction when he finally picked it up in the outfield.
It's so difficult in a foreign park to judge the curve as the ball goes down the lines, especially when you have a long wall as you have here at Great American Ballpark. The ball gets on the wall and it starts hugging it, and it's coming around there. Couldn't pick it up. You didn't know if it was going to stop by the bullpen or continue to roll. And that ball stopped, and he had to go get it.
Well, Nix had his first home run in the big league since 06 last night. That is his first triple in the big league since 2005. He's getting a chance to play, and this young man proved in spring training that perhaps he's finally healthy after that terrible shoulder injury over 4 seasons ago. He stands at third with nobody out. Adam Rosales just missed clubbing one out of here. His first at bat since being brought up from the minor leagues. Rosales was tearing it up in AAA, batting .431 for Louisville. In there, strike 1 and 2 on Adam Rosales. This guy knocked in 12 runs during the spring, which was tied for the second most on the team. And there's a base hit in the center by Adam Rosales. And it's 1-0 Reds. Jeff, we talked about this young man all during spring training. Even in Grapefruit League games, it seemed whenever the Reds needed a hit to knock in a run, he was getting that hit.
You have to believe in your own talent in order to be successful. You can't come to the plate and hope you're going to get a hit. You have to know you're going to get a hit. And we just saw 2 guys who are hungry to play at the big league level, and they got it done.
Boy, look at him over there. He is fired up. That's what you like to see. We talked about how hard this young man's going to play and how inspiring a player he can be to those around him. But this club, when your offense is not going good, you look like a team without a lot of passion. This guy will bring passion to the ballpark every night.
And the guy that hit right before him will do the same.
One 1-0 on Alex Gonzalez.
Right now, with nobody out, this would be a perfect time to take a pitch and drive it right through the right side as Rosales is stealing second base, otherwise known as the hit and run.
Reds have done very little of that the early part of this year. Of course, they haven't had a lot of guys on base to do much. Foul away, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And you say, well, Alex Gonzalez is only hitting 167 coming into the ball game. If you ask a guy to hit and run, he's going to lock in even that much more, because he knows he's got to make contact for himself and he's got to protect the runner.
One ball and 1 strike on Alex Gonzalez. The Reds with a 1-0 lead, and a ground ball into left field, a base hit. Rosales a hard turn. Lee will run to it quickly. It doesn't take long for the opposition to realize who's out there running hard.
Gonzalez gets a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, but it stays up, and that's what allows him to hook it into the left field side. You hesitate at all out there in the outfield on Adam Rosales, and he will embarrass you. He'll take the extra base in a 32nd minute. And as the Reds have gone, you would think we're seeing 3, 4, and 5 come to the plate, and this is 6, 7, and 8.
Dewey Robinson, the pitching coach for Houston, out to talk with Felipe Paulino. It started with a triple by Lance Nix to begin the inning. He scored on a base hit by Adam Rosales. And now Gonzalez follows with a single. And Volquez up to do what he did the last time, and that's advance the runners with a bunt.
This time he'll need to bunt to third base.
Way inside, he spins out of the way, pulling the bat with him, ball 1.
The reason that you bunt to third base is you want Jeff Blum, the third baseman for the Astros, to come in and field the baseball. You want Blum in here. The reason that you do is it vacates this area back here so this runner can take off to third base untouched.
Beautifully done. Wow. I mean, you can't do it any better than Edinson Volquez has done it twice here tonight.
That is called absolute execution. Where's Blum? He wants to stay home. The ball is bunted hard. He's got to come get it. Nobody else is going to get there. Frees up third base. Nobody's standing there. Rosales could have walked into third base. Perfect execution.
Well, now you need to get those runners in. Willie Taveras, a batter, has walked and singled tonight. Houston will bring the infield in as they did a moment ago with Adam Rosales.
And they brought in the outfield in center and right. Carlos Lee still deep in left.
Breaking ball, strike 1. Look how shallow Bourne and Pence are playing.
There's Bourne there. There's Pence. That's a lot shallower than what they were playing earlier. You hit one on the nose right here in that left center field gap. Oh, Nelly. You're running for days.
0-1 on Willie Taveras. Nice play by Toles on a pitch down and in. Count even at 1-1. Taveras, and a bouncer foul. It got him in the foot.
Kid Paulino is really turning it up. The last 2 pitches, 96 miles an hour. But as a hitter, you don't try to swing harder. You just try to be quicker. Get those hips turned and get the hands to the baseball.
Reds lead 1-0, looking for more against Paulino here in the last of the 5th inning. Rosales at third, Gonzalez at second, infield in. A ball and 2 strikes on Willie Taveras.
J.R. Toles really setting up inside, up underneath Taveras' hands.
That one up over his head. Now Taveras 3 times has come up with a runner at third this season in less than 2 men out. And in 2 of the 3 times he has gotten that run in. Those are his only 2 runs batted in this season.
Let's see if he can't get 2 in right here.
Throw comes home. Rosales in a run down. And Taveras is at first. On to third, Gonzalez. The fielder's choice cuts down the lead runner, and there are 2 away in the inning.
At this point, not a thing that Adam Rosales can do. He's going on contact. As soon as the ball hits the ground, he's taking off for home. And Toles does exactly what he's taught to do, run the ball all the way back to where the 2 runners are and tag them both.
So a missed chance. Let's see if Jerry Hairston Jr. can pick up Taveras and get home at least 1 more run in this inning. Jerry 0 for 2 is lined out to second and bounced to short. This one in the air. Behind the plate. Toles to the screen. Runs out of room. It's in the second row.
Boy, that was close right there. Tom, you almost have to make the ball be down in the strike zone to hit the ball off of this kid. Polino throws the ball up. It's 96 miles an hour. That's the only place you can hit it is in the air. You're not going to get much bat on the baseball on a high velocity pitch that's up around the chest.
Runner goes, and a throw down to second base, and safely is Taveras. That'll be his 5th steal of the year.
That's the first throw that J.R. Toles has had in a while, and the ball got stuck in the web of his mitt. A guy that doesn't catch every day, he can't keep his tools sharp. You take advantage of it. See him double clutch there, trying to get the ball out.
So now a hit more than likely means 2. Reds in front 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Leadoff triple in this frame by Lance Nix, and then Adam Rosales in just his 2nd at bat since being brought up from Louisville. Hits one back up through the middle to knock in the game's only run so far. A 1-1 now on Jerry Hairston Jr. is low.
Tom, it amazes me that the hunger that a guy has when he knows, or at least he feels like he belongs on the baseball card. He belongs in the starting lineup. You know that Rosales has that feeling by the way that he plays, and you know that Nix does by what he's done in the past. And sure enough, these guys are inserted into the lineup tonight, and they make something happen right off the bat.
Two and one to Jerry Hairston Jr. Put him a breaking ball. That way on nasty. That's a good pitch.
That was a strike. This is a strike whether Hairston swings or not. It is a pitcher's pitch. What's this bad boy? You're looking for a fastball. Of course, that's what you're supposed to look for on 2-1. That one, if you're Jerry Hairston, you just tip your hat.
2-2 to count with 2 on and 2 out. And here's strike 3 to end the inning. But the Reds get a run. Nix a triple. Rosales a base hit to drive him in. 1-0 Reds.
Text the keyword Reds to 37664, followed by your message, and your message will scroll across the screen of Reds Live. Now, Jeff Brantley, who is now Twittering as I'm in the press box, and MLB Network was doing a look live when you were doing your Twitter thing.
Yeah.
So your followers shot up immediately all over the country. It's the Cowboys' luck. I can't believe it, how lucky you were.
Am I up to Ashton Kutcher? That's all I'm really concerned
You're
about.
only about 999,000 some behind him, a little bit more. But I'm also Twittering as well.
I'm working.
I'm at Jim Day TV on Twitter. And, of course, you're the Reds Cowboys.
Yes,
so
I am.
all our peeps and tweets out there. We got you covered, people, for all the Reds mania, as you called it.
You got it.
Well, Jim Day was the one kind enough to Cowboy, bring you up to speed on how you could go about twittering this being your first day.
Thank you very much. This is my first day. It was not easy.
You're off to a roaring start, let me tell you what. As good as Edinson Volquez is pitching right now, you are just a Twitter god right now.
By Hopper off the bat of Paulino to Rosales, one away as we open the 6th inning with the Reds in front 1-0. I'll tell you, it's amazing there ever was life as we know it without the ability to text and Twitter. I don't know how any of us made it as long as we have without twittering and texting.
Or to have a phone in your car.
What would Lewis and Clark ever think?
The old history lesson. You can get it all right here on FSN Ohio.
Kaz Matsui, now the batter, has struck out twice in the game. Bunted out in front of the plate. That's fair ball. And Hernandez is going to throw out Matsui.
You see Pudge Rodriguez do it on the flip side from the Astros, and that's exactly what you're taught as a catcher. If the ball is bunted anywhere near that line, you get your mitt down and you scoop it back towards the field of play, and then you make the throw. That way there's no chance that the umpire is going to call it foul.
11 in a row retired by Edinson Volquez. He has set down 15 of the last 16 batters to face him. And there's strike one to Michael Bourne. 71 pitches in the game for Volquez, and we're 2 outs here in the 6th.
Pounding the strike zone.
And yes, this is the same guy who just 5 days ago walked 7 batters in 5 innings. 5 of them in 1 inning. Grounded down to Votto. And that is now 12 in a row retired by Volquez. Reds right back to back, leading Houston 1-0. Oh yeah, excited Cowboy, excited. The Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Reds come to bat. They 1-0 lead. Felipe Paulino to face 3, 4, and 5 in the order. That's Votto, Bruce, and Hernandez tonight. Votto off the end of the bat, lifts a fly ball into left center. Bourne will wave off Lee, and it drops right off the mitt as the 2 ran into one another. You could see that coming from a mile away. Bourne had called him off, and either Lee didn't hear him or didn't see him.
You could see Bourne holding the hand up. Bourne's got his eye on the ball, and clunk. The error is on Carlos Lee.
I mean, you saw the wave. Now, you can't expect Lee to see the wave, but you could read his lips. I got it, I got it, I got it. Said it numerous times.
And the best part about this whole thing is that Joey Votto never slowed up. He continued to run instead of just assuming the ball would be caught, and now he's in scoring position.
Well, they gave the error to Bourne. I thought it hit the glove of Carlos Lee.
It did hit the glove of Carlos Lee. I think they're going to have to look at that again.
Yeah, they will. They'll change it. Runner at second base after the error. And Jay Bruce waiting on a pitch from Paulino. The fastball is high. Well, for the time being, that scoring decision still stands. An error on Michael Bourne and not Carlos Lee. Nonetheless, the Reds have a runner at second base with nobody out.
So how do they rule that there? The ball hit Carlos Lee's glove.
They're saying that Bourne was the one who ran into him
and knocked the glove out. I got you. Even though as a center fielder you're the one that has ruling over the outfield, I guess.
Yes, sir. How do you say that?
Yes, sir. That would be a no, sir.
2-1 to Jay Bruce. Paulino, a look back at Votto, and it's fouled straight back. Bruce had a rip at a 93-mile-per-hour fastball.
And having the two left-handers batting back-to-back in this situation, both Votto and Bruce, yes, Votto got on via error, but now you've got one of your better hitters, second only to Votto, standing at home plate with a chance to drive him in right here.
Instead, he strikes out on a breaking ball. Boy, this Paulino kid has got a chance to be mighty good. Wow, is he impressive.
His breaking ball looks like a curveball, but yet it has slider spin. It's spinning like a top, and the ball gets to home plate. Very tight spin, and instead of breaking laterally, either down and in or down and away from a right-hander, it breaks straight down. So it almost has the break of a split finger, but the speed of a fastball.
Runner at second, now one out, and here's Ramon Hernandez, who is lined out to center, to deep center, and bounced out to the shortstop Tejada, who took away another hit for Hernandez on a ball back up through the middle. Activity for the first time tonight in the Houston bullpen. A right-hander and a left-hander. The righty is Sampson and the left-hander Burdack. And there's a ground ball to the right side. Erstad to the bag. Votto will advance 90 feet, but there are two out in the inning, and it's up to Lance Nix.
And that right there, Tom, is why it's so important as a batter with a runner at second base and no outs that you hit the ball to the right side and get the runner from second to third base, especially in a ball game like this, and the fact that your club is having world of time trying to score runs. You do whatever you can to hit the ball to the right side, even if that means bunt on your own.
Well, I would imagine as Dewey Robinson comes out there to talk things over with Paulino and Tolles, they're probably checking with Paulino and say, okay, you tell us, what do you want to do? You've got a left-handed batter, Nix, coming up. Then you have the right-handed batting Adam Rosales after him. Obviously, you've got first base open. What do you think you do here if you're Felipe Paulino? Do you go after Nix, or do you take your chances with Adam Rosales?
Well, I would say in this position, it's Cecil Cooper who makes the judgment, not Paulino. Paulino being a rookie, a young pitcher, not knowing really the lineup or how to work this situation in the long run. Cooper's got to be the one that makes the choice here. You either pitch to him or you don't.
Nick struck out his first time after a lengthy at bat and then tripled down the right field line leading off the fifth. And that's where he hit that triple down the first base line. He has scored the only run of the game. Now, Chris Dickerson is not expected to play at least until Friday, maybe a day or two after that. And you wonder if Nix goes out there and produces. I mean, are they going to let this guy run a little bit here, meaning getting some playing time? 0-2 now on Nix.
I think that all goes back to Lance Nix. If he produces and he's able to go out and play and put some numbers up and swing the bat the way he has off the bench, he'll have earned his spot.
Oh, and 2 the count with a runner at third and 2 outs. Oh, he had a hearty cut at that pitch.
Had another breaking ball. And that breaking ball for Paulino is starting to creep up a little bit. Look where this pitch is, a little bit higher in the strike zone. The only reason Nix wasn't right on it is it was a change of speed from the fastball.
Upping into the count. Paulino a glance at third. And again, fouled out of play. Came back with a fastball. We were bringing up earlier. You know, Dickerson just came to the major leagues for the first time last year. Nix was an everyday player going back to 2003 with Texas. Yet Nix is only 28 and Dickerson is 27. So these are still two real young guys, but I think it's easy to just have the perception that Nix is a guy, you know, 30, 31, 32, which is not the case.
It's not the case. And he was on the cusp of a big-time breakthrough in Texas before he got hurt.
One and two on Lance Nix. Paulino back to the plate. And it's into left field. Tejada nowhere to go. An infield hitting an RBI for Lance Nix.
That is a big-time AB. Fouled off 4 consecutive pitches at 0-2. Finally gets to 1-2 and hits the ball right in the hole on another breaking ball that was off the plate away. That's 2 clutch hits tonight for the kid to finally get an opportunity to play.
You know, it's funny how you said, Jeff, as you look at the contact here, you used a very key word that it seems like more and more and more and more. It doesn't hold the clout that it should. And that word is earn. Earn your keep. Earn a chance to do something, to keep something, to advance.
He's definitely not been given that.
No. And the question will come down, and it's not saying he has, he hasn't, good, bad, indifferent. But the question has to be asked of anybody on this club right now that is not swinging the bat, who is earning the right to play? And when you have a team that is not hitting at all, the guys that go out and earn it are the guys you think should be in a lineup.
There you go. It's one thing that you will realize playing in the big leagues. There's always somebody behind you that wants it just as much as you do, and maybe more.
But again, much like in so many other walks of life, you know, a lot of those guys in baseball, it might be a guaranteed contract. It might have been what you did last year. Yes, somebody behind you might want it, but they're not going to get that shot.
Right.
So you go out and earn it.
Well, the issue is that you have to prove your point that you're worthy of a starting position. And you do that by production. Every time you get an opportunity, you treat it like it's your last one.
3-0 on Rosales. And the guy is on base again. I mean, here we have the prime example of 2 guys trying to earn it. Lance Nix and Adam Rosales. And that's going to do it for Felipe Paulino. Kid pitched a good game tonight.
Yeah, he really did.
Were it not for the error in this inning, with Bourne and Lee bumping into one another, this would still be a 1-0 game. So with Gonzalez coming up, our skyline call to the bullpen. Reds lead 2-0.
I'm really excited. This is the place to be in the major leagues.
Now, when you're playing and when you're on a tear like you are, or even if you're not, do you check and see what the guys at the big league level are doing and how the guys playing your position are? Or do you not try to worry about that?
Me personally, I try not to worry about it. Just go out and take care of my business, you know. But we do follow the games afterwards. Usually there's a couple innings we get to catch. You know, they have day games sometimes. So, yeah, we follow, you know. You always want to see what's going on at the next level.
This is enough of a mental game that you just want to get away from it when you leave the ballpark?
Completely, yeah. I like to just settle down when I go home, you know, catch up with friends and family and maybe read a book or something.
Well, Rick's...
What a delightful young man Adam Rosales. Had a chance when he came to the big leagues last year to get to know him a little bit, and a lot more in spring training. And during Reds Fest, he was a very popular with a lot of the fans. And not many knew a whole lot about him, but once he got up there and in some of the various events, those up on the stage, people took to him immediately.
He's got a great personality. He hustles everything that he does. And he finally, I think he's gotten to the point where he believes he belongs. And that's a big part of it, Tom. If you don't believe that you belong here, you're going to struggle.
Chris Sampson is on to face Alex Gonzalez with a run home. Reds in front 2-0. 2 outs, 2 on. 0-2 to Alex, who is 2 for 2 tonight.
Chris Sampson on the mound. We've seen him quite a few times in the series, both in Houston and here. He's pitched in a heck of a lot of ball games. This is now his 11th ball game. Doesn't strike out a lot of guys, doesn't walk a lot of guys, just keeps it around the plate.
And he strikes out Gonzalez to end the inning. But the Reds get an unearned run against Paulino and lead 2-0 as we go to the 7th. Reds lead 2-0. Houston comes to bat here in the top of the 7th inning. Heart of the order coming up against Edinson Volquez, who's retired 12 in a row, 16 of the last 17, and he has given up just 1 base hit tonight, and that was to the man who leads things off, Miguel Tejada. And Tejada to double to right center with 2 outs in the first. Pardon me, Cowboy.
Probably the most important thing, or surprising thing, I guess, for me, is the fact that he's only thrown 74 pitches to this point. This is by far the most pitch efficient that I have seen him in any game, last year included. If he could do this every time out.
Yeah, and not just the 1 hit, no runs, but you're just talking about the efficiency in the pitch count.
Because he has some of the best stuff, not just in the National League, but in the big leagues. I mean, this guy is phenomenal. There's not too many pitchers that can throw the ball at 96 miles an hour and throw a changeup for strikes somewhere around 80 miles an hour and have a great breaking ball to go with it. That just doesn't happen.
1 15-pitch inning, a pair of 14-pitch innings. He's had 1 at 8. That was the last inning when he went through Paulino, Matsui, and Bourne. 1-2 now to Tejada. Tejada having a running conversation back there with Ramon Hernandez. The two played together for many seasons in Oakland. Well, those were some dynamite Oakland teams that just could not get through the New York Yankees and advance on to the World Series. And Ramon is going to try and throw him out, and will.
Hernandez even had Tejada fooled there. He set up on the inside corner, and right at the last second he popped right back out to the outside corner, and Tejada swings at the slider and hits it right off the end of the bat. Check him out. Bounces right back out, looking in, and you could see Tejada open those hips and the hands come through. The ball's not there yet.
13 in a row now retired by Edinson Volquez. Here's Carlos Lee.
Wow. Everything is set up by the fastball, and Volquez was throwing that fastball with some major velocity early in this ball game, and that's what the hitters remember. They remember that 95 and 96 that was busting their bats. Now they're trying to get the bat head out there and see if they can't catch up. And this is where the changeup and the breaking ball really matter right now, late in the ball game.
Fastball is low, even a count on Carlos Lee. 1-1. Lee is lined to left and flied out to Taveras in center. Down the right field line towards the corner, foul.
Lee did a pretty good job of waiting on that pitch right there. Big man usually gets those hands through the strike zone in a hurry trying to pull the baseball. That one he stayed back and hit it the other way.
Well, he hit one a mile foul, you may remember, his last time up when they tried to come in on him. Wasn't fouled by much either.
They haven't been back in there since. And I think that's part of the question right now between Ramon Hernandez and Edinson Volquez. Edinson's thinking to himself, I remember that long far one.
Rolled over a foul. You know, we were talking about those athletic teams and could not break through against the Yankees. I was doing this game right here. And a play that certainly will live forever in Yankee lore. Jeter, after 2 cutoff men were missed, somehow magically appeared behind both the cutoff men from the shortstop position and made the flip to cut down a runner at the plate. It's one of the most amazing plays I've ever seen because he had no business being there. But that's Derek Jeter. I believe the right fielder there, if I'm not mistaken, was Shane Spencer.
It was.
And he was nowhere close to either cutoff man.
It almost looked like an option in college football. Yep. Right to the, except that one was a touchdown.
One and 2 on Lee again. Off the end of the bat to Taveras, and this is out number 2. 14 in a row now set down by Edinson Volquez.
Well, for the Reds' sake, I'm sure that they all hope that this is the Volquez that they will see from here on out, or at least some semblance of this type of pitching. This is what we saw from the majority of Volquez's starts last year, and he was absolutely dominant from the beginning of the season.
18 of 19 retired, as well as the 14 in a row by Edinson. Didn't get the call there and wanted it. Ball 1 to Hunter Pence. That was the same pitch that Pence swung at his last time up and missed by 2 feet. Now the 1-0. They'll throw it again. 2-0. Still just a 2-0 ball game.
Neither team out of the woods yet.
Nope. Edinson has not walked a batter all night. He hit J.R. Tolles on the first pitch of the 3rd inning. But that's been it. After walking 7 his last time, including 5 in a single inning. 3-0 to Pence. Taking all the way, and there's a strike.
And it should be strike 2.
Yeah. And 1 to Pence, trying to keep the tying run from batting here in the 7th inning is Volquez. And that looks like it's going to happen. 1, 2, 3.
Good job.
15 in a row set down by Edinson Volquez. They stand and stretch. The Reds lead 2-0. Cincinnati Ballpark and its unforgettable moments. For more information and tickets, visit reds.com/HOF. That is a spectacular facility that we are so fortunate to have here in Cincinnati. I was in St. Louis over the weekend, and you know, they have that Cardinal Hall of Fame now that shares the same building with the Bowling Hall of Fame. And believe me, I'm not taking any shots at it. The Cardinals are an unbelievable franchise, great fans, great history. It's not the point I'm making. The point is, it doesn't matter whether it's the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Cardinals, the Dodgers. It makes no difference. The only baseball museum nicer than the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum is the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. Trust me. And that's not even remotely debatable.
You're right. And that goes back to the dedication that they put to the Hall of Fame and the fundraising effort that goes along with it. And that ain't no easy task.
Edinson Volquez leads off the 7th inning with a ground ball to Tejada, 1 away. Reds in front, 2-0. As they bat against reliever Chris Sampson here in the home half of the 7th inning. Reds got a run to break a scoreless tie in the 5th on a leadoff triple by Lance Nix, who scored on a single by Adam Rosales. Then in the 6th inning, Joey Votto led off with a harmless fly ball in the short left center. Michael Bourne was calling for it. Carlos Lee apparently didn't hear him. They bumped into one another. Votto wound up at second. And then with 2 away in the inning, Lance Nix again with an infield hit deep in the hole at short to drive in the second run of the game. Here's Willie Taveras. That is a fair ball down the left field line. Taveras on his way to second. And that's his second hit tonight. It's the 4th time he's been on base.
That ball right there for a lot of people might end up being a triple if you misplay it and don't get to it in time. Reds fans, are you ready for some great tasting food and family fun? Pick up JTM Philly Kits, burgers or delicious barbecue from your favorite grocer. JTM, food, family fun, barbecue.
Here's Jerry Hairston Jr. Runner at second, 1 out. Reds with a chance to add to this 2-0 lead, and Hairston trying to butt his way on and missed it. We had a little barbecue up here tonight for dinner. Did you partake or no? You were busy before the game tonight.
I was trying to learn how to do that tweet, peeping, twittering thing. I finally figured it out.
Well, there is very little doubt that will become the most popular twittering site in our coverage of Reds baseball here on Fox Sports Ohio. I'm going to be interested to just sit back and watch that race. The race for popularity on the twittering. You, Chris Welsh, and George Graham.
You lost your mind.
Here's a 1-1 to Jerry Hairston Jr. Now 1-2.
Jerry's trying to do whatever he can to hit the ball to the right side and shoot it through that hole.
Okay, but wait a minute. Here it is. Twitter.com/Fox Sports OH. And you're what, Reds cowboy?
Yes.
Nice. Nice.
That would be me.
1-2 to Hairston. And they went back to that breaking ball again. This time he stayed away from it.
That's a big run at second base out there for the Reds right now.
Versatile certainly does not define Jerry Hairston Jr. I'm not sure there are 3 or 4 guys in baseball that can put up those kinds of numbers.
Well, the key there is those 31 appearances at shortstop or starts at shortstop. That is the big key for being a utility player.
High pop up down the third base line. Here comes big Carlos Lee. You best get out of his way. 2 gone.
You can play a lot of positions out there on the field, but if you can play shortstop, you can pretty much play anywhere.
Cecil Cooper will leave the dugout and bring in a left-hander, one would assume, to face Joey Votto. Yep. So a runner at second, 2 outs. Tim Burdack will come on from the bullpen. Reds lead 2-0. We're in the 7th. Back in a moment. Minutes later, out of nowhere, the tarp wasn't on the field. A downpour arrived. Look at Billy Hatcher, Adam Rosales, Daniel Ray Herrera, David Weathers, a whole fleet of guys coming out to help the grounds crew. That thing weighs a ton, brother, once it gets wet.
Yeah, it weighs a ton, period.
And our cameraman on the spot, Billy Lutz, was there to shoot it. Micah Owings. We really wondered if this game would start on time, not because we were going to have more rain, but because of all that rain that fell on an uncovered infield.
I think
they did a great job getting that thing ready.
That's what tells you about this grounds crew and what they were able to do. You look out onto the field, you would never know that it was mud soup out there early.
Those guys bust their tail, man.
We call that gumbo down there where we live at.
Oh, man. Here's Joey Votto. And first pitch swing against the new pitcher, Tim Burdack.
And this situation for Tim Burdack, he is coming in for the strikeout. He's a situational left-hander. He's trying to put Votto away right here, right now.
Quiet night for Joey. 0 for 3, did reach on an error and scored a run. And he pops it up. This should end the inning in foul ground. It's Blum. It does. We go to the 8th. Edinson Volquez will head back out to the mound. He's retired 15 in a row and has a 2-0 lead. It's a 9 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. By Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Honda dealers. Visit mycincinnatihondadealer.com for current offers. You know, I don't want to fail to mention, we were talking about what a great job the grounds crew did. And, of course, the head man, Doug Gallant. John Phelps, his right-hand man, and the grounds supervisor, Derek Grubbs, and all the guys that work on the crew. They did a phenomenal job.
Well, once that mud gets in like that, you've got to get on it with that diamond dry or whatever it is that they use out there, because you can't let the water start to soak down into the dirt. If you do, you won't ever get it fixed.
Well, here we go in the 8th inning. Still a 2-0 Reds lead. Edinson Volquez has allowed 1 hit. That was a double with 2 outs in the first inning to Miguel Tejada. He's retired 15 in a row. And 19 of 20 since the only hit in that opening frame. That was his 90th pitch of the night. And there's a strike to Jeff Blum.
Still got that changeup and right on the money. 77 miles an hour, trickled right over the outside corner.
6, 7, and 8 in the batting order. Blum, Erstad, Tolles. And bear in mind, the Astros have one mighty weapon still sitting on that bench, who was not in the lineup tonight and has hit more home runs in this ballpark than any visiting player. Lance Berkman. One and 2 to Blum. I'm a little surprised looking down there that Berkman's not up, kind of getting loose right now. I mean, you got the pitcher spot due up 4th in this inning, which means if that spot comes up, there will be somebody on base in a 2-run ball game. A bit of a surprise that he's not maybe taking a few hacks down there.
Well, for a guy, and this is just in my mind, for a guy that owns this ballpark, he can take a rest another day. He can play 3 days in a row. It is April. He doesn't look like his legs broke. He had a home run last night. Take a day off somewhere else.
Those are the numbers in his career against the Reds. In 135 games, 127 batted in. And there is strike 3 call. 93 miles per hour on the inside corner.
Paralyzer.
6 strikeouts for Volquez. He's retired 16 in a row.
Blum knew it too. He was heading back before he caught the ball.
Now Darren Erstad, who is grounded to second and flied to left. The last batter to reach in this game was J.R. Tolles, leading off the 3rd inning when he got hit on the first pitch of the inning. On the ground to Hairston, 17 in a row retired by Volquez. Best Sports Show period comes your way every night, presented by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Pinch hitter now. Jason Michaels will come up and bat for J.R. Tolles. Of course, they have Ivan Rodriguez on that bench tonight as well.
And in a 2-run ball game, I think that Cecil Cooper right now is just thinking double long ball any way he can get it, or a bloop and a blast, whatever it takes.
Volquez going to work. And a breaking ball is outside. His 97th pitch of the night.
And Tom, the man you were just talking about, is now loosening up in the opponent's on-deck circle.
One 1-0 to Jason Michaels. And a breaking ball. Wow. Where did that miss? Kevin Causey, the home plate umpire. Was that low?
Oh, it's not where you catch the ball. It's where the ball crosses the plate.
2-0 to Michaels. And he was trying to hit one to the second deck in the left field. Came up empty. One 100th pitch of the night on the way from Edinson Volquez. And it's another strike, like it pretty much has been all night.
And he is reaching back right now. He's been right around that 90-91 mile an hour mark for the last couple of innings. He just touched 93 and 94 on the last 2 pitches.
Tell you though, if you're Dusty Baker, if somehow, some way Michaels should reach, I got to believe we're going to see Arthur Rhodes to face Lance Berkman. Rhodes is getting loose in the bullpen. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Although Rhodes looks like he's just now cranking it up.
I think they just both got up.
Berkman a switch hitter, as many of you know.
Because if they were hot, they would be in the windup or the stretch by now, and they're not even starting on the rubber. They're starting behind it.
3-2 the count on Michaels. Volquez to the plate. And that's ball 4. 17 in a row comes to an end. And now Lance Berkman will bat, representing the tying run here in the 8th inning. Does Dusty Baker stay with Edinson Volquez? Of course, the question or the answer might be easily answered by, is anybody ready in the pen?
I don't think they're ready. Berkman's hitting 400 off of it. It's only a small sample size, 2 for 5. If they wanted him to not face Berkman, they would have somebody out there talking to him, either the catcher or Dick Pohl, the pitching coach.
Volquez is allowed just 1 hit. And there's a fastball down and in to Berkman.
This is his last batter, though, Tom. If he doesn't get Lance Berkman,
Berkman representing the tying run here in the 8th inning with 2 men out. Fastball up and away, 2-0. For the record, Berkman 2 for 5, as Jeff mentioned, in his career against Volquez. Berkman is 0 for 4 in his career against Arthur Rhodes. And the 20 home runs, 6 more than second best.
And if you're going to let him face Berkman, it'll be his last batter. You can't afford to let him lose this game. Good pitch.
Good pitch indeed. A 2-0 fastball in the inside corner.
Now this is what you call a two-seam fastball. He starts it in off the plate, very similar to the pitch that he got Blum with earlier. Runs right back to the inside corner.
One hit allowed all night by Edinson Volquez. His team has scored 2 runs for him. Lined into right field. Caught by Jay Bruce. Berkman hit it right on the screws, but a line drive out. And that's the way the 8th inning comes to an end. Volquez, 8 innings of 1-hit shutout baseball. Tell you about them in a minute. Here's what happened when Volquez got back into the dugout. Dick Pohl going down to check on him to see how he's doing.
This is Dick Pohl right here, this jacket in the background. You can see him with his arm on Volquez's shoulder, and Volquez is nodding. He's fine. Watch him. I'm fine. He's going to stay in the game. And that is illustrated by the fact that Cordero is warming up in the bullpen, but he is not getting hot. Not yet.
So Ivan Rodriguez now behind the plate and on the mound. Just activated from the disabled list prior to Sunday's game. Veteran right-hander Doug Brocail. This guy pitched in 72 games, a career high last year, in his 14th season in the major leagues in 08. He's been a good pitcher for a long time. 2-2 to Jay Bruce, to be followed by Ramon Hernandez and then Lance Nix. Off the glove of Erstad, and the throw by Matsui. Airmails the covering Brocail. That'll be a base hit for Jay Bruce, his first tonight in 4 at-bats.
This is why you cover first base. Every time the ball is hit to the right side, you can see Brocail getting over there. Matsui gets to the baseball, but the chances of him making a perfect throw there are very, very difficult. But if he had made a perfect throw, they might have had a chance to get Jay Bruce. Brocail was exactly where he was supposed to be, standing on the bag.
Now Ramon Hernandez, a hitless game for him, is lined to center, grounded to short, and bounced out to first. Batting in that 5 spot for the first time all year is Hernandez. He squares and pulls the bat away. Ball 1. Now we were talking about some of those Oakland teams that Hernandez played on that could never beat the Yankees. I can't remember how many of those series. And of course the athletics organization disdain for the sacrifice bunt, disdain for the stolen base, and they bunted once or twice, and I literally mean successfully bunted once or twice over the course of 3 different series. They would have won those series. Because I'm convinced to this day, even though the Yankees a couple of times went on to win the World Series, I'm convinced to this day Oakland had a better team in a couple of those years.
Yeah, I think you're right. The better team doesn't always come out on top. It's those who execute.
Yep. Taking up an in 2-1. And those were the days when Joe Torre first took over in New York, where they were doing a lot of that small ball in the Bronx.
But they were executing. Yep. And they were making it happen.
They got away from that as the years have gone by.
Gone back to the long ball.
Yep. 2-1 on Hernandez, and they start the runner. Throw down to second base, and neither infielder got to the bag. That throw is right on the money by Rodriguez. And those are two guys that play together each and every day, Tejada and Matsui.
Well, that was a hit and run. The ball almost hit Hernandez. He was trying to make contact with the baseball. The ball almost hit him, so he had to stop his swing. And because of the fact that he started his swing, I think that's what delayed the two infielders from getting to second base.
Well, this is right up Ramon Hernandez alley now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he may not be an accomplished bunter. Let's be honest, he's not been asked to do it very frequently in his entire career. But we have seen him regularly as a Red be willing to give himself up and hit the ball the other way. Now, he can't do it every time.
That's probably what Pudge was telling Brocail out there. We got to keep him from hitting the ball to the right side. Let's run that sinker in on his hands.
Well, they just had a meeting, and now they'll have another.
First meeting was how to pitch the guys. Second meeting was, hey, let's use second side. Decoy the guy at second base.
Still 2-2.
Well, the Reds have had a chance for that insurance run a couple of times and haven't been able to get it across. Sure be awful nice if they could do it here.
Two to Hernandez, and he takes low and away, ball 3. To the count on Ramon Hernandez, and now he wants time. Bruce getting his first stolen base in his first attempt of the year out at second. And there's ball 4. So now 2 on for Lance Nix. Well, you got to wonder whether Dusty Baker will ask Nix to put down a sacrifice. I mean, here's another guy coming up through his entire career that has really never been asked to do it all that frequently. He has not had a sacrifice in any game. He had one in 2006 playing in AAA Oklahoma. His last one before that was in 2004. In his entire professional career, he's had 4 sacrifices, and 3 of them came his first 2 years in the minor leagues. And plus, right now, he's a hot hitter. 1-1.
Even his foul balls are line drive.
This is one of those areas of the game that you can certainly debate on and on and on. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong.
I agree.
It's one of the things that makes baseball so great. I mean, you want that run badly at second. Do you ask this guy to give himself up? 1-2 to count to Lance Nix. Nix a triple, scored a run, knocked in a run with a single in the 6th inning. And the 1-2 on the way. A fastball high. Good eye by Nix, and here he is again. I mean, I know we sound like a broken record for those of you that can remember what a record was. or what a record is. But it seems like every time this guy comes up,
he's giving us a good
2-2 or 3-2 almost every at bat. He went to 3-2 his first time up tonight. He struck out. Jumped on the first pitch in the 5th inning when he tripled. Battled deep in the count in the 6th after falling behind. And now the 3-2 on the way to Nix. His ball 4-1. An outstanding at bat again by Lance Nix. And they are loaded with nobody out for Adam Rosales.
Well, the kid's already getting a standing ovation for the first time in his career. And it all comes from the way he plays the game.
Well, you know what? Right now he just happens to be, and this isn't a shot. He's the flavor of the month. When the guy at the big league club was struggling,
exactly,
and he's hitting .431 in the minor leagues, everybody wants to see him. Ball 1 low to Adam Rosales.
The whole key is how long can you sustain it?
Rosales has made an impact already. He's knocked in a run tonight. And he's gone to 2-0. This kid's not afraid up there.
And when you say not afraid, not only is he not afraid to take a pitch, he's not afraid to take a walk with the bases loaded. There are a lot of youngsters, Tom, that come to the plate and they want to get a hit so bad with the bases loaded they swing at everything. Well, he's already taken 2 pitches that were pretty close. Now it's 2-0.
Boy, Doug Brocail is hot. I think he's upset with the umpire. And the pitching coach, Dewey Robinson, noticed that and came sprinting out of the dugout. I mean, Brocail is livid.
I haven't seen anything yet that he could be upset about. I mean, the balls that were out of the strike zone were out of the strike zone.
2-0 to Rosales, infield in, bases loaded, none out. And there's ball 3. Rosales, who has to be as locked in as any hitter on the planet. I don't care where you're playing. You hit .431 over a month. You're locked in. 3-1 delivery. Here's strike 2. And there's where you see a guy who was looking 1 pitch, 1 zone. It was a pitch, a fastball, but probably not in the zone.
It was down and it was in. It was a pitcher's pitch. This kid knows how to play the game.
3-2 with the bases loaded and nobody out. He took a huge cut and fouled it back.
Now some may say, well, he swung at ball 4, but when you're in this position, it's 3-2 and you got the bases loaded and nobody's out. You don't want to strike out looking. If it's close, you're hacking.
We'll do it again on a 3-2 pitch. In the air, right field. This will bring in a run. Catch made by Pence. Throw goes to third. Safe there. Safe at home is Jay Bruce. And in his first start, look at Adam Rosales. A couple of RBIs and leading the cheers as he comes back into the Reds dugout. He gets to that dugout. He's excited. He should be.
That's the way it ought to be.
A good base running by Ramon Hernandez as well. Able to get to third. Standing at first is still Lance Nix. Reds lead 3-0. And a chance to do some more damage. Here's Alex Gonzalez. Try to check his swing. He's down 0-1. Edinson Volquez has a helmet on, standing at the bottom of the dugout, and now he's been called back. Although he still has a helmet on and a bat in hand, Brandon Phillips is now in the on-deck circle.
And that may be, Tom, just to not let Cecil Cooper know what his hand is going to be right now.
Gonzalez. Reds in front 3-0, looking for more. Good pitch on the inside corner is strike 2. Hit him, and he almost spun right into it. That's why you always hear hitting instructors, managers tell batters to spin the other way.
When you see the ball at your face, turn your face back towards the catcher, not towards the pitcher. That way, if it does hit you up around the head, it hits the helmet and not the part of your face that's not covered.
Kale wearing out that chewing gum. And he is taking forever out there on the mound. And here's a 2-2 on Gonzalez. Struck him out on ball 3.
Well, this is how you expand the plate. You go up and in, and then you throw that cut fastball that runs off the plate away.
It's going to be Brandon Phillips, so the night is over for Edinson Volquez.
And that's probably a good decision, Tom, especially as long as Volquez has been in the dugout here, and the fact that you've had Cordero throwing for quite a long time during this whole inning.
Of one-hit shutout baseball for Edinson Volquez. He only walks one batter, and that was the second to last batter that he faced on the night, and struck out 6. Soft liner caught at second, and that'll end the inning. Reds get a run. Houston bats in the ninth. Reds lead 3-0.
It's about a game saver right there.
So the night is over for Edinson Volquez. He twirls a career-high 8 innings tonight. And now Francisco Cordero will try and give Volquez his 3rd win of the year. And at the same time, notch up his 7th save in as many opportunities. Of course, Cordero was the losing pitcher in the opening game of this series. On Monday night, 1 inning, allowed 3 hits and 3 runs. Top of the order, Matsui to be followed by Bourne and Tejada. One and one on Matsui. High failed to mention when Cordero got beat here on Monday night. For those of you that were not with us, he came into that game in a tie game. There's a bouncer to Hairston. One away. Tonight's Mega Million jackpot up to $220 million. Buy a ticket today.
And you're right, Tom. That was a non-save situation. And for Cordero and most, well, at least for most closers, that's a very difficult time to pitch. And at the time, I said, I can't believe that Cordero is pitching during this ball game. Well, you go back and look. He's got a 2.98 career earned run average in non-save situations. So the Cowboy was wrong on that one. Still didn't work out, though.
No, it didn't. Fastball up and away.
But it doesn't change my mind.
Well, I mean, you've done it. I mean, you've walked that walk. Oftentimes it's almost impossible to walk in another man's shoes, and why you are not Francisco Cordero, that much we know, if nothing else. But you have been an all-star closer in the major leagues.
It's just tough to pitch when it's not a save situation. And it's a lot of fun pitching right now, though. I can tell you that. Heart beating, butterflies, nothing like it.
One and two to count on Michael Bourne. Struck him out, and Houston down to its final out of the ninth.
Good running two-seamer from Cordero. Starts middle in and runs all the way back across the plate. And Mr. Michael Bourne runs out a baseball bat.
Now Tejada. First pitch breaking ball, in there, a strike. Well, last season the Reds had a combined one hitter. Johnny Cueto, David Weathers, Mike Lincoln, Francisco Cordero in a 3-2 win over Arizona. Edinson Volquez allowed just 3 base runners all night. A double by Tejada in the first. That's still Houston's only hit on the game. And Rosales knocks it down, picks it up, throws, got him, and the night is over. What a night for Adam Rosales, making his first start since being called up from the minor leagues. But even more impressive the night tonight of Edinson Volquez. One start removed from walking 7 batters in 5 innings. Goes 8 innings of one-hit shutout baseball. And the Reds push their record back to 1 game over 500. And that's the way April ends at 11-10.
Who'd have thunk it? The Reds are over 500. Watch this play to end the ball game. He bobbles the ball, does Rosales, but he comes up with a cannon and throws out a hustling Tejada to end the ball game. A hustle to start it and a hustle to finish.
Volquez the winner.